Hey guys, welcome to another A Life with Miss video. Our main topic today is actually Lord of the Rings. I've been wanting to talk about it. Well, the plan was last month. Last month we were going to talk about it because every December I binge Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I feel like The Hobbit doesn't get enough recognition, right? The Hobbit is amazing. Yeah, but everyone just talks about Lord of the Rings, right? And don't get me wrong, Lord of the Rings is amazing too, but The Hobbit has a lot of real good story in it, you know? So anyway, every December I binge that. I meant to do a video last month going over what we're going to talk about today, but I just got too busy and then, led to not enough time to edit, and yeah, it just was a little hectic. But what I wanted to talk about today is not only that I love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and that I binged it, and I actually used it for exercise stuff. So I wasn't watching like a full movie in one shot. I was using it for my walk. So when I'd be on the treadmill, I'd roll out, So I was watching, it would take me like 2 days to watch each movie. So it was a pretty big, adventure, I guess we'll say. It took a bit to get through all the movies, and because I always watch the special features too. I love the special features, I love that they chose like New Zealand. New Zealand seems like the best place possible for that setup, yeah. But one of these days I'll have to make that a trip, a little vacation. But the biggest reason I wanted to talk about it today is that this month Lord of the Rings is actually coming back to theaters. Okay, so it's for the 25th anniversary. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird. Okay, so because most people are probably gonna be the complete opposite of me, but you know how there's that thing that happens and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm old, aka 25th anniversary of Lord of the Rings. Is it wrong of me to think that it seems like it should have happened so long ago? I feel like maybe I'm getting so old that 25 years doesn't even seem old to me anymore. I think I'm used to the anniversaries of shit like Back to the Future and Star Wars, and it's like I think back to Lord of the Rings. I went to the theaters when it originally went into theaters, and I was a young adult, so I don't really think of it as old as it might actually be to other people. It's a weird. I guess you get to that age where 25-year-old shit isn't old anymore. It's got to be like twice that. But nonetheless, 25 years is a pretty big milestone. Yeah, so what they're doing for the anniversary is this month they're actually opening it up into the theaters again. And they're gonna do the D-Box, which I've never done. Is D-Box like IMAX? I remember I went to an IMAX theater. It was actually at Disneyland years ago. And that was the first time I'd experienced something like what the D-Box might be like. I haven't been to a D-Box thing, I don't think anyway. The last time I went to the theater was for Warcraft in 2016, so, I go, I think on average, we seem to go once every 10 years. So, that seems to be the going for Mist. But I do remember like years ago, I went to Disneyland. No, it was Disney World, and because we stayed in Tampa Bay, and Indiana Jones was like the big thing, and they had like the boulder going by, and you could feel like you felt like shit was, you know, coming at you, and yeah. So I imagine that's what the D box kind of is. Um, but better because that shit was like 40 years ago. So I imagine things are so much better. So yeah, it says, you know, if you haven't tried D-Box before, here's what it's like. The mines of Moria quake underneath you. So yeah, it'd be similar to the Indiana Jones I experienced like 40 years ago. The Balrog roar vibrates through your seat. The cavalry charge at Helm's Deep moves your entire body. Trolls or troll hits actually jolt your chair. That would be amazing. So there's this other one called 4DX screening, and it says wind blasts as the fellowship climbs the snowy slopes. Rumbling fog for the arrival of Nazgul. Subtle mist effects during Golem's cave scenes. Seat jolts, which we learned about on the 2D. Or was it 2D? The D seating, whatever. The one we just talked about. And then lightning flashes in sync with storms. Okay, so it's just for Lord of the Rings. So this doesn't include The Hobbit. It is Lord of the Rings, you know, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. And the D-Box and Premium is going to return to theaters January 16th to January 18th. And then on January 23rd to January 25th, they'll do like the standard version, like the regular theater version. I guess if you never got to experience Lord of the Rings in the theaters to begin with, like you were too young or, you know, like let's be real, I am part of the best generation ever, so you know, and I'm not just kidding around, like literally all the good shit was in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, you know. So yeah, if you were born after 2000, you're part of the bad generation. You didn't experience the good shit, right? So you might be go in there for the first time, in which case, whatever you can get, right? Whatever you can get. But I would say if you've experienced it, or even if you haven't, and you can experience it with the D-Box, yeah. But you'll have to just look, see what theaters are offering it. And yeah. And it's very limited days, so it's going to be super busy. So yeah, if you're like me and you try to avoid the busy and you go at, yeah, you're not going to be able to. Not with a 2-day span like that. Yeah, it's going to be so fucking busy. But I love Lord of the Rings. I would go to a theater again. And we're due. Yeah, it's it's the 10-year mark. So it's honestly perfect timing. Yeah. So see if I can drag my friend with me. I don't think he'd want to do a marathon though. I think the unfortunate part of getting older is your friends no longer want to do marathons. Like, yeah, that's the bad part. You know, your friends are, you know, either too tired or have families, or, you know, yeah. So, you know, and I've you know, I had a family at a young age, you know, so when everyone else was out doing things, I was at home taking care of my family. Now I'm like free to do things, you know, so yeah. And now, you know, people have families older now, right? Which I've got my own take on that as a child from two parents that had her in their mid-40s. Not a fan. That's why I had my kids young, because I said I was never going to have kids in my mid-40s, and you know, they end up how I ended up with no parents, you know, at a decently young age, you know, young adult. But yeah, so that is that. I am gonna go do my workout now, so I just wanted to sneak a quick video in. This year, I am gonna try my best to make sure you guys have your videos on time every Sunday. There might be the occasional extra video, but at the very least, I want to try my best to get you your Sunday videos, as the banner at the top of this page suggests. Let me know if you plan on looking into the Lord of the Rings stuff. And it's like, part of me is like, are you a fan? But who isn't at this point? Like, do you guys know anyone that dislikes Lord of the Rings? You know, like, I don't. Even the people that don't even really watch it like it, you know? Like, you know, not everyone might be the biggest fan, but I have never heard a bad thing said about Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so yeah, and I definitely love it. I have three major loves for movies. You know, well, I was gonna say everyone, but everyone that knows me well and has kind of followed me for the past 10 years online or close to it, you know, Back to the Future, my favorite. You know, Back to the Future, I binge that way more than once a year. Yeah, a lot of these other trilogies I'll binge on their anniversary months, more or less. But Back to the Future is one that I watch a lot. Yeah. I would say probably 10 times a year. So that one's a lot. That's my majorly, like, all-time favorite. And then Lord of the Rings is another one I binge a lot. And then Star Wars. And Star Wars is a huge binge, because, well, I guess it would get close to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, because it's similar. It's like 6 movies, and yeah, there are more movies to it, but my love for Star Wars is episode 1 to 6. Yeah, so, which you actually watch not from 1 to 6, you know? Well, I don't. You know, I watch in release order, and the first Star Wars was not episode 1, right? Yeah. Although, fun fact, that guy was Canadian. Or probably still is. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Try not to make this video too long, so I just wanted to talk about that. And yeah, let me know if you plan on going. And I will, of course, let you know if I end up going. There's always things that I'd love to do, and then, you know, some things get in the way, right? So who knows if I actually do go. But we are due for another theater trip, and I'm okay going by myself if I have to, you know, whatever. Like, I don't care. I kind of just want to go for the concession stuff, because you know damn straight they're gonna have all this 25th year Lord of the Rings, like, popcorn buckets, and, you know, like, that's what I want to go for. New Zealand, right? New Zealand would be celebrating so fucking hard. I would love to be there, you know? If that's where you live, I'm jelly of you, because that will be such a huge fucking celebration. Yeah, yeah. One of these days, guys, one of these days, I will do a vlog out in New Zealand. It might be 10 years down the road when I can afford it, but one of these days. That'll be our goal for the channel. Our channel must do good, guys, because it must pay for my trip to New Zealand. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.